Hello everyone, my name is Anna and welcome to Cactus Caffeine. In this channel, I share with you my passion of growing cactus and other desert plants over a cup of coffee. It is fall and this is my second most favorite season of the year, next to spring. For me, summer here in the desert is extremely hot. Winter is too cold. My cacti goes dormant. But during springtime is when I get my super blooms. But during fall time, I get a second wave of blooming. Not as much as I do during springtime, but several of my cacti starts blooming again once the weather gets cooler during fall time. Hence, you see these flowers that I have. So I have a couple of echinopsis here. These are echinopsis rainbow bursts. They're much smaller than when they produce their flowers during spring and the summertime. But then again, they rebloom this fall season. I have a gymnocalcium here, a variegated one. Oh, I have a fruit. If I plant the seeds from that fruit, hopefully I'll get more variegated gymnos. This is a Matucana Madusignorum, the pink form. I love this one because this has been blooming on and off since springtime. Such a reliable bloomer. And fall season is the season for Ariocarpus blooms. That's what I learned this year. So Ariocarpus, they do not, at least for me, they do not bloom during spring. They did not bloom during summer, but during fall season is when Ariocarpus starts producing their flowers. So I have 3 in here. This one is a hybrid, a retusus hybrid. This bloomed for me for the first time last year, but it only produced I think 1 or 2 flowers. But this time it gave me more buds and more flowers. So I have a triple bloom for today. This is actually grafted, okay? But it's grafted really low that you can hardly see the rootstock anymore. Okay, so this is a retusus hybrid. This one, look how big the flower is compared to the cactus itself. This is an Ariocarpus retusus subspecies retusus crossed with fissuratus. Oh, that is a mouthful. This one I got this from Miles to Go earlier this year. So this is the first time I am seeing its bloom. Same as this one. This one is also from Miles to Go. Let me see what is the name of this flower. Right here. So it's Ariocarpus retusus subspecies trigonus. I'm glad that this one turned out to be yellow. Okay, so I have a yellow blooming Ariocarpus. This is pink and white, and this is like pale pink in color. So fall season is Ariocarpus blooming season. Now this gives me an inspiration to grow more Ariocarpus because the cacti usually bloom spring and summertime, but in fall season, it's the Ariocarpus turn. So I get extended blooming season for my cacti if I have Ariocarpus. Look how beautiful that is. And I have my brush in here because many of you may have already guessed what I am planning to do. I am going to be cross-pollinating these flowers, hoping to get fruit, for it to develop fruits and for me to be able to get some seeds. Alright, so I will be just randomly pollinating the flowers, cross-pollinating them. I will get hybrids, I know that, but it's okay as long as I get some seeds from the Ariocarpus. Okay, so if you want to cross-pollinate your flowers to get fruits and seeds eventually from them, all you have to do is rub the pollen of one flower and rub it to the stigma of another flower, and then do the same. Keep doing the same among all the flowers. All right, fingers crossed that I will get some fruits and seeds out of those Ariocarpus. My cacti during this fall season, they start getting greener again because during summertime they were like yellow from too much sun. Even though I have a shade cloth, it was just extremely too hot and too sunny that some of them turned yellow, but now they're turning back into green and they're starting to plump back up again. So this is a fall season. It's like their second growing season here, when at least in the desert. Our weather right now is not too cold yet. We are still in the low 80s in the morning, and then at nighttime it will go down to like the 60s, high 60s. So it is still a growing season for the cacti. Hence, some of them are showing signs of new growth actually. These are the other Ariocarpus that I bought together with those flowering ones that I showed you earlier. So I have one in here. This one has no flower though. Okay, but these are the ones that I bought together with that earlier from Miles to Go. And when I bought these, I was planning to graft them, but then since it was, I think, January, wintertime when I bought them, and I figured wintertime is not a good time to graft them, so I decided to plant them in soil first, hoping that I could graft them during springtime. But Clyde Morris, and thank you Clyde Morris, he told me that these actually look too big already to be grafted. Well, during January when I got them, they were much smaller than this. If you want to see the video on when I got these and when I potted them up, I'm going to put the link up on this screen. Anyway, going back to my story, so when I got these, they were much smaller and I was hoping I could graft them. But then Clyde Morris told me that they look like they are a little bit too big to be grafted anymore. So he cautioned me against grafting them, and I am glad I listened to his advice because as you can see, I had some already flowering even though I did not graft them anymore. And this, look at how small this one. This is an Ariocarpus cochibayanus. Do you see what that is in the middle? It has a bud. So this one is going to produce a flower too, even though it is that tiny. So I am glad I decided not to graft them anymore and just let them grow on their own because they will flower even though they are still smaller in size. So anyway, the rack here that you are looking at has a little bit of everything. I just fixed them according to the size of pots that I could fit in here. So this rack here, mostly they are seed grown except for a few. This is not seed grown, this is not seed grown, that's not seed grown, this is not seed grown, and this is not seed grown. And then all the rest that you see here, I grew them from seed. I just repotted them this year during early or late spring. Yeah, I separated them and repotted them, and wow, they grew very fast once they were in their own pots. Okay, so see, these are some Astrophytum. This is an Oebo. I love this one. This is a Super Kabuto star shape, and you can clearly see its shape. Both of these are Astrophytum Super Kabuto, but you can see the difference in their shape. So the top one is a round form, and then the bottom one is the star-shaped Super Kabuto. All right, and then more seedlings in here. An assortment of different types of seedlings. Ooh, I love this one. This is another Astrophytum, a grafted one, but this is Astrophytum Myriostigma onzuka monstros and crested form. It is a super weirdo. It's monstrous and it's crested. Okay, it's an Nzuka astrophytum. I love how this one is growing. This one is again from Miles to Go. I got a lot of good cacti from Miles to Go. I highly recommend him. I will put the link below this video if you're interested to order from him. He's in Arizona and he only does online orders. Okay, so from that rack, let's move on to this table. I have more cactus in here. Wow, this is a crested Gymnocalycium enormous. This one grew a lot this year. When I first bought this, I think a year ago, I planted it on like this size of a pot right here, the one on its left. And then just this year, I moved it to this pot. And look, by fall time, the cactus is like pushing to the sides of the pot again. And it looks like it needs another round of repotting. Wow. I love how this is growing. Look at the color, purple and green color of this cactus. Beautiful. Okay, so this one, I would make a mental note. I need to repot that again. All right, and then what else do we have in here? Wow, look at this. This is a lobevia. Sometimes when I get cactus fruits and I don't have time to properly sow the seeds, what I do is I just crush the fruit and let the seeds drop on the soil. And look, this one, the seeds germinated. Now I don't know if these are from the seeds that I scattered this year or from last year, because I would do it every year whenever I'm lazy and I don't want to germinate cactus seeds using the baggy method. I just scatter the seeds in the pot, and sometimes they would germinate like this one. So this may have been from last year's seeds or this year's fruit. I don't know, but it worked. It germinated. All right, let's move on with this Walkabout this fall season. Okay, so I have another rack in here and more on this side. I can see some of my cacti are producing buds, so hopefully they will continue to develop and bloom before it gets too cold. Oh, and I have another one in here, another succulent that is in flower. This is not a cactus, this is a succulent. It's a Huernia hybrid, and look how strange looking the flower is. It looks almost black. It's like very dark burgundy or very dark brown, almost black, depends on how the sun hits it or how the light hits it. So when it first opens, it looks like this, like a star, and then after a few days it will start curling backwards, the petal curling backwards, and looks more like rounded. And yep, if you're wondering, yes, they have a certain smell, an unpleasant smell, and that is because these flowers are pollinated by flies. But you won't be able to smell them from a distance, only if you stick your nose really close to the flowers. But as long as you stay your distance, you won't be able to smell them. But very unique looking flowers. All right, so these are the cacti from this rack. Oh, I had a rat problem over the summer season, And I was wondering why some of my pots would like randomly get knocked down. I thought it was the wind, but then sometimes there's like big pots that are knocked down and the small pots are not. And I was wondering what caused that until I suddenly found some bite marks on some of my cacti, like this one. So that's aloe, and that's when I realized it's probably a rat. So anyway, long story short, we got a rat trap from Amazon. Oh, there's one right there at the bottom. So we got 2 of these and set it in our yard, and we were able to catch 2 of them. Hopefully there's just 2 of them, but after we caught them, so far I've never seen any more knockdown or any pots or any new bites on my cacti. So hopefully I was able to solve that problem. It also picked out some of my aloes. My aloes are right here, the smaller ones. They picked it out and then they dropped it on the floor. Some of them I was able to retrieve them, but some of them I was too late finding them because they were like everywhere in my yard. So anyway, here are my aloes. Aloes are growing back again, looking prettier and starting to bloom because of fairer or cooler weather. They're starting to change their colors as well because our nighttime temperatures are dropping. I love it. But during wintertime, I would have to cover these with a frost protection blanket. All right. And let's head over to this side. And then more seedlings here. Okay, oh, I have some lithops stocked back there. Actually, these are the lithops that was given to me recently by a viewer, Alan Peck. They are actually scattered all around my yard in different racks because the rat was also picking on them, and before I thought it was birds, so I tried to tuck them in the inside or far in where the birds hopefully would not be able to grab them, not knowing that it was actually rats who were doing it. All right, and then more seedlings in here. Okay, from this rack, let us head on over to my garden. Here is my garden in my backyard. As you can see, even though it is fall, we still get a lot of sunshine, but I was able to take down my shade cloth so I can clearly see them now without any obstructions. Okay, so here they are now. This is something that I need to do this fall. I need to prune a lot of my cacti. As you can see, these are trichocereus and they're starting to lean because that's what trichocereus do when they grow. They start leaning. So I'll have to do some pruning. Okay, this opuntia too, look. I've pruned this already during springtime, but it needs another round of pruning. So maybe my next video will be about pruning cactus. We'll see if I can do that. Okay, and here also, this is my Echinopsis candicans. This produces big white flowers, and I've had this in the ground for several years now. I planted it, it was only like, I think two main cacti, and since then it has produced a lot of offsets. And this, I have to make decisions on this because look, the mother plant, it already leaned right there. I attempted to cut it myself, but then it's too big and too heavy. I'm still trying to figure out how I will cut that. I might probably need a saw. And also these, see from this angle, you can see how they're starting to lean and it might crush my Echinocereus rigidissimus down there. So they're all starting to lean because there are more offsets growing there in the middle. So I'll have to make a decision on what I want to do with this one. This one is really hard to deal with because it's heavy, it's got big spines. I might have to call a professional landscape or gardener to help me out with this one. Okay, here is the rest of the garden. This one I told you before, these are burn marks when the shade cloth here snapped. I was planning to cut this down and just let it offset from the bottom, but then I'm changing my mind because it produced an offset even though I have not cut the top. So I think I'll just let this grow like this. I know eventually it will form more offsets in here. So I'll just leave it like that for now. Opuntia sulphurea looking very nice. All right. Trichocereus, see it's doing another round of blooming. More buds. Ooh, see it's blooming once again. And then from here, let's head on over to my garden. This is a golden barrel. All right, in here, there is one Opuntia here, Ficus indica, that died. I'm not sure why, but that's okay because I have this big one right here and another big one over there. All right, and then I have a fern here that I usually let it grow on top of my Cactus latispinus here in order to provide it shade. But now that it's fall, I can actually trim this and expose the Cactus. Oh, and it has buds. All right, that's a good sign. Hopefully the flowers will get to open before winter starts in here. Okay, and then these are my barrels, native here in Mojave. This is the Echinocactus polycephalus. It flowered. I missed seeing the flower because I was out of the country when this was in bloom, but I could see that that one and this one, they flowered. It's growing very well. And then this one is a Cactus acanthodes. I could see also spent flowers in here. So this one bloomed as well. Another cactus needing to be pruned, this Opuntia ficus indica. A few more cactus in here. So this is a totem pole cactus. And this one is my Mexican fence post. If you can remember in my update when I just got back in the US from my vacation, and I did an update and I saw this one. This one is sunburn because I had a shade cloth, a plastic shade cloth that was draped over it, and I think the plastic got too hot and it burned the top. And I told you guys I was planning to cut it down. I actually asked you guys what I should do, and most of you said yes, I should chop it and probably root it. But then I did not have the time. It was too hot in the summertime and I got really busy with work, so I did not have the time to cut it yet. But look, at the bottom, there's already three offshoots growing. Nice. Okay, so I think I will wait because it's almost winter here. So if I do the chopping now, this will not root anymore. So I think I will wait until next springtime, and then I will chop that down. Okay, and hopefully I can root that cactus. And this right here is my shady rack where I keep most of my seedlings that are still too small to get full sun. So they're getting bright shade right here. Okay, and we are back again here where I started with this beautiful fall flowers from my cacti collection. All right, don't forget to follow me guys in Facebook and in Instagram, and thank you guys for joining me for this fall walkabout. And until next time, bye everyone, and Cheers!